Welcome back, agents. Today we're going to be talking about explosion build, the demolition build with hardwired. It's a lot of explosions, constant explosions. Fantastic for legendaries. You'll see what this build can do. We'll take it to the shooting range. We'll show you some gameplay. I'll show you all the bits and pieces. It could definitely get better. So that's the good news. And as always, make this build the way that you want to, that adapts to your gameplay, that works for you. Obviously, one of the biggest things in this build is that you get more explosion damage, and I can tell you, you're gonna need it for this build. You're gonna want it. And this, the base for impact, that you can ignore explosions once every 60 seconds. This is huge. This has definitely kept me alive in legendaries. Just a great passive talent for the build. This build, you can see it's 4 hardwired. It is primarily a yellow build. It is built around the Harmony. I do have the Pestilence on there. This is primarily a Harmony build. The Harmony, obviously, fantastic rifle when title at TU10. Does some great damage by itself, but you're going to see with its perfectly in sync talent that it's going to just melt NPCs. Perfectly in sync. Once again, obviously, that if you just hit an enemy, you don't even need a headshot. You just hit an enemy, and it will give you 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. As your skill is being procced, it is going to proc an additional 20% damage for your skill. And if both are going proc at the same time, you are going to end up with 40% weapon damage, 40% skill damage. That is crazy. Crazy powerful. Let's go into the build. Obviously, file max with this one. This is definitely not a maxed out, but you can't do anything to recalibrate these. It has toxic delivery. I would love to have seen more skill damage on this mask instead of hazard protection. But in this case, toxic delivery, it's going to apply that debuff, that status effect. You're going to proc with a status effect, and it's going to give you this toxic delivery for 10 seconds. It's going to give you 100% of your concussion grenade damage to each of those NPCs that it goes to. Anyone that gets the status effect. This is very powerful. It bleeds off a lot of damage very quickly. I'm using a China Light chest piece. This chest piece, TU10. This is definitely not a min-max. Currently farming for better ones, but it does have explosive delivery. The reason I'm using explosive delivery is every time you throw a skill, it can be a turret, it can be a hive, it can be a cluster grenade, a seeker mine. Every single time you throw it, it's going to give you an explosion 1.5 seconds later that also scales with your damage. So you're going to get a lot of damage just from these. Now, I use the hardwired. This hardwired has the, obviously, I'm using 4-piece. So it gives you a skill haste, you don't need it. It gives you skill damage is great, and it gives you feedback loop. Feedback loop, obviously, whenever you cancel a skill, and your skill automatically comes back, your other skill comes back. And you use the backpack because it has the additional, it takes it from 20 seconds, 10 seconds, short circuit. It doesn't seem to be broken, it seems to be working. You can constantly spam your skills, constantly. And obviously, everything's got rolled skill damage, everything's got skill damage. Skill haste, I wish I could recalibrate all of these. If it's something besides skill haste is not necessary for this build. You're going to, with short circuit, you're going to just keep getting your skills back. So if I were to re-roll these, I'd probably put more armor. There's definitely some things I would do more better on this. Obviously, here I'm looking at the gloves, skill damage, knee pads, skill damage. That just 0.3% more, but they're good. Holster, skill damage. Everything is just skill damage in this build. So what are the skills that I'm using? So I'm using the Stinger Hive. Stinger Hive, you throw it out, it explodes. Each one of these causes bleed. Each one of the charges causes bleed. 14 charges. You're not even going to need it to charge up to 14. It's actually better with 1 or 2. And you'll see here in a little bit. But I am tier 6 on this. No overcharge necessary. You're going to keep spamming these skills, and it will just melt these legendary NPCs. Great CC build. This build will just keep coming. You just keep throwing it out there. You stay in cover, you keep throwing it out. Seeker Mine. Now you can do this with a regular Seeker Mine that causes the bleed damage, or you can do this with a cluster. I like the cluster because it's good for crowd control. I can throw it out, have lots of enemies, hitting for 2.4. If you have the Harmony Perfectly in Sync procced, it is going to be hitting super hard, about 3.5 million per cluster mine. That is insane. This build, a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it. Let's take it to the shooting range and take it for a go. Now, first thing, I'm going to set it to heroic. I'm going to come over to this last little booth here, set it to very hard. That challenge level to very hard. And watch. Boom! What? 5 point second time. One more time. Boom! Everybody, 5 seconds. That is lovely. Just lovely. Alright, now we're going to do some legendary gameplay. Check this out. He's going to constantly be spamming my couple harmonies. Throw out that seeker mine. Or throw out that topic. Boom. Right after. Throw the cluster mine. 1 second. Throw it out again. Find target. Throw out another seeker mine. That explodes. Throw it out again. This was just a lot of fun. Everyone, this is Double Down Gaming. We'll see you next time.